Hello once again, welcome to my YouTube channel. And in our today's discussion, we are going to look at the common causes of fires, the common causes and consequences of fires in workplaces. Just a little bit of what we already discussed in our previous video. We talked about the principles of heat transmission and the spread of fire. So we're going to highlight on what we already discussed so that we can remind ourselves as we move on with our topic. So there are 4 different principles of heat transmission that can cause the spread of fire. And number one is direct burning. By direct burning, this comes where when material is burning, it normally hit any combustible materials nearby. And within a short period of time, these materials which are surrounding the burning material or the burning object, they will get heated and they will catch fire. And that is how simple the fire will spread. The second method is convectional currency. And in this method, the air circulation will take place, whereby when air is heated, it normally gets lighter and it rises up. And when the hot air rises up, normally the cold air occupies the space and it gets heated again. So the cold air, when it gets heated, it becomes lighter again and it rises up. So this circulation of cold air and hot air will continue until the whole area becomes hot, and this hot air will form a layer on top. Let's say this fire is happening indoors and this hot air rises above the ceiling. On top of the ceiling, at the ceiling, the hot air will form a layer, and this layer will heat up any material which is within the reach. And within a short period of time, all the materials which are nearby will get heated and will catch fire. And that is how convectional currency causes the spread of fire. Number 3 is conduction. We all know that in science, conduction is the transfer of heat through solids. So here, it is also applicable where any combustible material, when it gets heat, the heat normally transfers through the material from one end or from one corner to another, and that is through conduction. A good example is when you use a spoon to stir inside a cup. The hot water, the heat from the hot water reaches your fingers or your hand through conduction, through the spoon by the means of conduction. The fourth and the last principle of heat transmission is radiation. And with the radiation uses the principle of the heat transfer through air. The principle also applies to the heat transfer through transparent objects, such as glasses. So when one side of a glass is heated, or there is hot air, or there is fire in one side of a glass, the heat will be transferred through the glass to the other side through radiation. And any material that will get heated from the other side of the glass, it will end up catch fire. These glasses themselves, when they get heated to an extent that they can no longer withstand the heat, they burst and cause fire. And that is how heat or fire spread through radiation. So in our today's topic, as it rolls down there, we are going to talk about the common causes and consequences of fires in workplaces. We're going to look at one by one until we finish them. So be with me until the end of this video so that you may learn all the causes of fire in work areas, and through learning, we are going to see how we can prevent these causes, or we can control them if we cannot eliminate. Now, number one cause of fire in work area is smoking. If some of the workers or employees, they do smoke cigarette, then this is a fire hazard and it must be controlled. If you cannot completely eliminate the smoking habit or the smoking of cigarettes in your workplace, you must put policies that will govern the safety principles on how to prevent fire through smoking. You can put the policy of no smoking zone, and you can only designate areas where smoking will be allowed, which will be safe and it will not cause any harm. The next cause of fire in work areas is through electrical equipment. When you are using electrical equipment in your work area, then the safety precaution measures should be put in place. And in most cases, the SDS, that means the safety data sheet, should guide on how the electrical equipment should be used in a workplace. So the policy should govern, safety measures should be put in place on how to control and monitor the use of electrical equipment. Electrical equipment may result into fire due to the following: unsafe use, or the misuse of an equipment. If the equipment is used for the wrong purpose, then it may end up causing fire. Or if it is used at the wrong environment, then this may also result into fire. The next reason that may result into fire is deliberate ignition. The next reason can be deliberate ignition of fires. Some employees are unhappy on how the management or the organization is being run. Some of the employees are being mistreated, and due to this, they may decide to revenge to the management or organization or the employer, and by so doing, they might deliberately start fire in your organization. So measures should be put in place, including protecting the rights of the workers or the employees so that they may not develop any negative attitude towards the organization. The second reason might be the unhappy customers. If some of the customers are, or they feel unhappy because they haven't received the right or the expected services, they may end up causing fire or starting fire just to give a revenge to the organization. Another cause of fire is hot work. We all know the types of hot work activities, including welding, cutting, we have grinding, and many others. All these work activities must be governed by the permit to work system. That means all the safety measures will be put in place so that we protect the cause of fire in a workplace. Another reason that may result into fire in a workplace is cooking appliances. The cooking appliances, such as cooking fan, this, if they are left unattended with a boiling oil. The boiling oil may get heated in an extent that they may cause fire. And especially if any object, that is if any combustible material enters into the frying pan, then it may cause fire. Another reason is heating appliances. During cold seasons, people tend to use the heating appliances in order to get warm. So if these heating appliances are left unattended, then they may continue to run for a long duration of time. They may result into fire. Another reason is mechanical heating, and this is caused by the mechanical equipments like machines. If they run continuously for a long duration of time, they may end up causing fire. So all these causes must be controlled, must be some policies or some protective measures must be put in place in order that they may prevent the start of fire. Next is chemical reaction. In workplaces where chemicals are being used, you will realize that some chemicals, when they react or when they come together, they produces heat. If the heat is produced and there is a nearby combustible material, the combustible material may catch fire and it may result into a huge fires. The next reason, and probably the last reason for, or the last cause of fire, is due to unsafe use and unsafe storage of combustible and flammable gases and materials. If you fail to store the flammable and combustible materials in a proper manner, then it may end up causing fire. And this will include the proper housekeeping, where all the combustible materials are stored in a proper way. And if there is no need to accumulate a huge amount of combustible materials, then it is advisable that the materials are exposed, they are disposed, so that the work area will remain safe. As well, or the flammable gases, they have a common rule where they must be kept well in a safe place which is out of reach. So by implementing the protective measures, then you will be in a position to prevent any fires that might be caused by all these causes that we have talked about. So we are going to end our video here. As we move on, and we are going to discuss one by one all these causes. We are going to discuss all these causes one by one as we move on with our syllabus. Thank you very much for being with me until this end, and let's meet in our next video.